Hi everyone, Gemma here. Thank you for watching today. So in this video I'm going to be putting together this gift basket. So there's lots of handmade packaging in here, some using dies, some using a scoreboard. I filled them with goodies and I think it's come together really lovely. I apologise for the angle, it's quite hard to get the whole basket on camera. So I will pop a picture at the end of the video. This will all be wrapped in cellophane, but I just wanted to show you the individual contents before we get started. So this is the cracker that I've made and it's filled with some chocolates. This is using a die, really quick and simple to put together. Then I've got this gorgeous mug wrap. So you've got some coffee and candy canes inside there, and I just love this packaging. Again, it's using a die and really quick and simple to put together. And then the last item is this gift box. It's got some biscuits inside, so I've handmade it to fit the biscuits, and this is using the scoreboard, so keep tuned to the end to watch me make that one. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first project I'm going to make is the Simply Made Crafts Geo Christmas Cracker die set. This is really simple to put together. I think it's really effective. I cut the snowflake on my Cricut and I just use a scalloped punch to add that circle in the centre, and there's some lovely treats inside there. So you've got this one pass die, so I've run that through my die cutting machine and I've cut some red cardstock. You've got some other embellishments here as well if you wish, but I had a few of these left over from a different project, so I thought I'd just make use of those. So I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible because I have a number of projects that I want to get through. I'm going to spend more time on the ones that don't require any dies, and just quickly run through these. Some of them you've probably seen on my channel before. I think I've done this cracker one as a Halloween cracker. So I'll just go through the score lines with you. So you've got two lines going through the diamonds and a line going through the center. They're all valley folds, and then the rest of the score lines are mountains. So I'm just going to go ahead now and score those, and then we'll quickly run through the assembly of the cracker. So I've gone ahead and folded and burnished along the score lines. I've also added some red tape to these 4 tabs, and I'm just also adding some quick grab glue just to help with the longevity of the cracker. The red tape will provide that instant stick, but the wet glue then will give it a longer lasting attachment, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to flip this over now and fold these tabs over, and then you just want to bring the side up and just attach those together. So I find by starting with one end, you can go in with your fingers and pinch that piece together. It does get a bit more trickier in the center, so I like to leave those last, do the 2 outside first. And just pinch those pieces together. Like so. And then use the tweezers if you can, or something just to press against, and you can squeeze those tabs together then. So just concentrate on one, like so, and then flip it round and pinch those pieces together on the other side, like so. You can get your hand in there and press on that further, but just find the tweezers just helps them grab initially. So that's essentially the cracker. It comes together really quickly. I'm going to decorate, as I said, with a scallop circle and the snowflake. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue just around there and curl the sort of the edges up, just to add a bit of dimension, and pop that on the front there. I'm going to tie both ends off with some white ribbon, and inside I'm just going to put some of these Dairy Milk little robins. Now when you tie the hole, it has got quite a large area for things to fall through, so you want either something that's quite big, or you could do as I've done and pop them inside a cellophane bag. So I've just used a DL card bag, and I just tied it off with some ribbon and just snipped it down. I'm going to pop this inside, so then it means that nothing will fall through the holes on each end. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now, and it will result in the cracker looking like this. And then we're going to move on to project number 2. So there's both my crackers prepared. I just wanted to show you this. I'm going to pop a bottle of mulled wine in the basket or hamper, and just to make it a little bit more pretty and coordinate with the rest of the pieces in the gift basket, I've just trimmed a piece of pattern paper. It's not attached to the bottle, it's just attached together, and I've just put some red liner tape on one end and just wrapped that around the bottle and just added a little bow. So we're going to move on to project number 2 now. So this is the one that I've already made. Again, we're using a die set from Simply Made Crafts, and it's this wrap around the mug, and I filled it with some coffee and candy canes, added some lovely pattern paper and tied it off with a bow. It's a really quick construction. As I said, I'm trying to keep the length of the video down, so I've gone ahead and I've prepared most things. So this larger die here, the outline die, I've cut that twice in red cardstock, and then I've cut the layers or mats in the pattern paper. I've already gone ahead and attached those to this piece. So this die set is called the Mug Wrap and Treat box die set. So you've got an additional die there, as you can see from the inspiration on the front there. You've got room to add an additional box, but because I'm doing other pieces within the gift basket, I've just opted for the mug wrap. So you can pretty much use any size mug. You can just where you attach these two pieces together, if you've got a wider mug, you just attach them like so, giving it a larger surface area to sit on. But I'm just going to follow the standard score lines. So there's a score line at the top, which is a valley fold, then you've got 2 score lines here which are mountain, and then the bottom edge which is a mountain. So just doing that on both pieces like so, and then all you want to do is overlap one over the other and attach them together. So I'm using Collal glue to help strengthen this piece, and when I added the mats as well, I also used this construction glue. If you leave it for about 24 hours, it goes nice and hard and provides that additional support to your projects, making them a little stronger. If you're ever worried, you can cut more pieces of cardstock or some grey board to go on the bottom there. So they're now attached. I'm just going to take the bits of my mug out. So I like to wrap this around first and tie everything off, and then in the gaps there I'll add the coffee and the candy canes. I've added a bit of the stuffing inside, which will match what's in the gift hamper. So if I just tilt this forward, when you bring the two pieces together, there are holes on each side that will match up, and all I'm going to do is thread some ribbon through and tie off a bow. There's the final mug wrap. So you got 2 to go in the basket. So for my last project, I'm going to make 2 gift boxes that will house some biscuits. This is a good size already, but you can size it up or size it down depending on your gift. I think you'll be able to get some chocolate bars in there or some other items. So to make the box, you need a piece of 9.5 by 9. Along the 9.5 inch side, score it half, 1 3/4, 5 and 6 1/4. Then rotate and score at 1 1/4, 7 1/4 and 8 1/2. So do that for both boxes. You want to fold and burnish along the score lines and all the folds and mountains. So we're going to do some trimming, then add our mats and layers and finish off with the construction. So with your 1/2 inch tab at the top and along the left hand side, we're going to cut from left to right. So start with this first score line and cut up to the first score line. Just rotate your card and take that piece away. Then along the bottom, we're just going to free up the rest of those pieces. So cut up to the first score line, like so. And then these 2 squares, you just want to take a small wedge off those, just to remove any bulk. Like so. Then completely rotate it to the opposite side. Now we have the 1/2 inch tab on the right and on the bottom. So coming across to the first score line, we're going to cut up past the first score line to the second, and do that for all of the score lines. So just work your way across and just do the same. Cut up past the first to the second. On this end piece, again, we're going to remove that. Just cut across that score line there. Okay, so this first rectangle piece, we're just going to fold that underneath, and we're not going to touch that piece. We're now going to work on these 3 pieces. So these 2 sort of rectangles and squares, you want to remove the rectangles from both those squares, like so. Fold them under, so we're finished with those. And then these 2 pieces we're going to completely remove. I'm just going to rotate the cardstock to the side and just cut away this piece. So just be careful and try and do a nice clean straight edge, unlike what I just did, because that's going to be the front of the box. So if I turn this back now to its upright position, you should have something that looks like this. And then lastly, we're just going to take a wedge off this tab. So just a bit there and a bit there. So at the moment, we don't want to take anything off this piece. We want to make sure that that is nice and snug inside the box. If we need to trim it down a little bit further, we can do at that stage. But it's better to leave it there rather than take it away and not be able to put it back. So that's essentially the gift box. I've got some mats and layers now ready to attach. And then I've cut a piece of red and some pattern paper just to match those mug wraps. So I'll go through the measurements of those. Let me just grab my ruler, if I can find it. Seems to have disappeared. So for the largest panels, for the front and back, you want 2 pieces of white cardstock that measures 3 by 5 3/4 and a pattern piece that measures 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. Then 2 panels that measure 1 by 5 1/4 and a pattern piece that measures 3/4 inch by 5 1/2. And then these 2 smaller pieces that measure 3 by 1, and the pattern piece that measures 2 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch. And that's all your pieces. If you want an additional piece like I have here, the red cardstock measures 1 1/4 by 6, and the pattern piece that measures 1 by 5 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead now and attach these. I've already got one here, so I'm just going to bring this piece in so we can construct that together, and then I'll finish the other one off camera. So I'm just going to flip this over and fold back this piece and add some quick grab glue along this tab here, and then just fold over this larger piece and everything should marry up. Just press that down well, like so. So this piece here with the 1/2 inch tab is the lid, so I'm just going to fold that over and we'll concentrate on the bottom. So this is my front piece, so I'm just going to bend that back because I'm going to stick that down last. Fold the back largest panel over. I'm going to add some cloud glue just to help strengthen. Sorry, knocking the camera there. And just fold these 2 tabs over and add a bit more glue there and just round the edge. Just fold that over. Just make sure you've got a nice square box there and all these sides marry up. I'm just going to hold that for a few seconds just to let it grab. Collal can take a little bit longer, and I'm just going to open this back up and go in with my bone folder and just press on the inside there just to help those pieces grab. Okay, so now that's attached, this is where we might need to do some trimming. So you want to check to see if that will close and hold itself in place. Now I can already see that that's not going to work. So I need to take, because this one's catching on the front there, I need to take a little bit off this side. So I'm just taking a very small amount just off there. So that's now sitting inside, which is great. Do another try to see if we can close that up, and it's still catching a little bit, so now I'm going to just take a small amount off each edge here. I've still got a little bit of score line on this side, so that's probably why it's catching there. Try again. We go. So that's just sitting nice and snug inside there now, and it's not popping back out. So that's what you're aiming for. You want it to hold itself shut. So I'm just going to bring in my biscuits, just pop those inside. You could you could add a finger pull here if you want. I don't tend to do that on my gift boxes because once there's something inside, you can sort of see which end you need to pull it open, and there's a slight gap for you to pull that up. It's entirely up to you. This is a lovely gift box, so let me just give you the end measurements. So it's 3 1/4 by 6 and 1 1/4 deep. So you can get quite a lot in there, I would say. So off camera now, I'll do the other gift box the same, and I'm going to bring everything together then to create the gift basket. I'm probably also going to do off camera a gift card holder, and that will also go inside the basket.
So there's all the contents now added to the gift basket. I think it's come together really well. So this doesn't have to be for Christmas, it could be for any occasion. Just change up the pattern papers and it can be versatile, as I said, for any occasion. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. And anything that you've used in today's video will be listed in the description box below. Once again, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.